took all the, take the high out of that.
25,
Take the low out of it.
On December 6, 2014, the family and friends of Lee Maddox met in Carmichael, California to share the love and help him celebrate his 100th birthday.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Oh, I got the control, okay. Alright.
This is for all you dancers, 100 and over.
Lee Maddox. That's what I have there. Born December 11th, 1914. Gee, I was just a kid then. Things that you ought to know about 1914. I mean, what happened in 1914?
It rained.
Yeah, well, he did that.
It rained.
What was the biggest thing that happened in 1914? Almost the biggest.
Oh.
Can you remember?
Oh.
World War I.
Lee started it.
The next thing that happened that was big,
World War II.
what? No. The Panama Canal, after 10 years, was finally completed. What else happened? Babe Ruth's first professional game as a pitcher, and he won it 6-0.
Well.
Babe Ruth. Forever and a day. And we never lose over the day. Oh yes, those were the days. La 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 la. Oh yes, those were the days. Lee, it's time.
It's time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Lee. Happy birthday to you.
You see all of the faces here, people that love you, have known you for years. You got people here from all over the United States. Who came the furthest?
I came from Rio Linda.
To be here, they've come long ways, some of us not so far, but we just want you to know that we're here because we love you. This is the gift to you. I talked to you on the phone a few months ago and then again last week, and you said you did not want this. You didn't want to be the center of attention, but tonight you deserve it. You earn it. So, happy birthday. Father, we thank you, first of all, for getting everybody here safely. We The party is about to begin for Grandpa, and we just pray that it would be a time to honor him, to show him how much we love him, that he is a man of integrity, that he's been a great example over all of these years, and that we just love
Yeah, let him finish. Yeah, that's
Snake?
fine.
Yeah, snake. Let the snake go.
Okay. We went deer hunting, my friend and his son. And we hunted hard all day. We had a tent. I had my sleeping bag. I don't remember about them. And soon it got dark, we went to hit the sack. And in 2 seconds, those guys were snoring so loud it'd scare any deer away. Well, anyhow, then I began to feel something at the heel of my feet. It was breathing. And I wondered, what in the world? There's got to be a snake down there. And I've heard of that before. And so I just laid there and I was most sure it was a snake. And so I tried to holler at Wayne and his son, and I couldn't wake those guys up no matter how hard I yelled at them. And so what's the body? Well, I gotta find out. So I got a flashlight and I raised my feet and I looked, nothing. So I back down and did that about 3 or 4 times. I can't figure that out. So pretty soon, when I laid back down, I could tell that whatever that was under my feet, every time I breathed, and I was breathing pretty hard sometimes. And then every time I breathed, there's something underneath in my heel. So then I began to figure out, well, on those sleeping bags, as you know, there's a bead for air to go around the sack, and so every time I breathe, that's when I thought that snake was breathing. Now, the bear story. Let's see, old Carl and I, we went deer hunting. And that evening, we sat around the fire and we talked about the bears and the snakes and all of that. And it was pretty cold, about time to crawl in. And so Carl said, well, I got a army cot. You can use it. I'm going to sleep over here on the ground. Well, that made me happy. So I crawled into my sleeping bag, and he said, you better put your gun in with you. He said, I'm taking my pistol with me. And I said, okay. So I put my gun down in beside me in the sleeping bag and zipped it up. And about the time I get to sleep, I felt something along the side of my leg. Something was just pushing me a little bit. And that's the bear. He's trying to wake me up. And so I waited a minute, and he went around the other side of the cot, and he came over and he punched me on this side. And that wasn't enough, so he got right on top of me. Whoa. And there I am, and I'm trying to get my gun out. And pretty soon I hollered, Carl. He says, what do you want? Now, I'm going to tell you one about Carolyn.
Okay.
But
Is it nice?
what I was going to tell you was the time that I bought Larry an accordion. And Larry, he picked it up a couple of times and went like that and set it back down. And Carolyn come along and she picked it up and right away she started playing. And so I went to Fred and Norm, bought her a new accordion, took it home and she'd play it, but it just sounded like it wasn't quite right. There's a note here that's not working. So I took her all the way back to Fresno and took it into the store and showed the guy and told him what the problem was, and he took it. Boy, I don't hear any bad notes now. He said, all it is she just got to play the right note.
And Daddy said, oh, I get it. And went and got me some accordion lessons, right?
Can we have all the kids come up here in the front? I know all the kids here are mine.
Oh, maybe we should have rehearsed this.
We flew 5 of your really old-time mystery guests from the 30s, the 40s, maybe even the 20s. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to track them down, but we found them. Mystery guest number 1. Okay, we're going to give some clues. Grandpa, you have to guess who the mystery guest is. We're going to give 3 clues. Kermit, can you kick us off with the first clue?
Sure. Okay. You were a little seedling that was able to grow in the Sequoia National Forest. Because Lee cleared your home, you got to see the sun. Where is he? Oh, that's one fucking clue.
Clue number 2.
Okay, you grew into a big pine tree straight up to the sky.
Clue
Okay,
number 3.
you were happy until one day a logger cut down your, cut you down and took a sawmill and made you into planks. And then, Lee bought you and made you into a chair!
A chair! It's a chair from the Sequoia National Forest where Lee helped the trees to grow. And they were made into all kinds of furniture. And we tracked one down from 1930. There you go. That's as good as it gets today. We got 5 of these. You can hear all of them. Okay. Mystery guest number 2. Here it is. Come on, Josh, get that mystery guest up there. There he is, mystery guest number 2.
Okay, alright. Some people think you are a real blast.
A real blast. Grandpa, can you guess who this mystery guest is? Grandpa has no clue. He doesn't even know what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Clue number 2.
Clue number 2. You had an explosive relationship with this mystery guest. Clue number 3. This mystery guest sat on your lap while riding through the countryside.
This mystery guest is...
Dynamite!
Dynamite! Okay.
Boom!
Why would this be dynamite? Hold that dynamite up there, Josh. Grandpa...
I'm back.
When Grandpa was very young, probably in the 30s, maybe the early 40s, he used to work for the U.S. Geological Survey. And he used to drill holes, put dynamite in the ground, and they'd take seismic readings to find out where the oil was. Is that correct?
That's right.
And Grandpa, being that he probably didn't read the whole instructions on how to transport dynamite, would hold it in his lap as he drove through the countryside.
That is true.
And that is true. Hey.
Yeah, it's stupid too.
For dinner, I can remember you opening the can of sardines and eating the whole can while we gagged. But I remember, and I don't know what time of year it was, but you were gonna paint the bathroom. And I thought, oh, how neat, maybe he'll let me help. Well, he let me help. Guess who ended up painting the whole bathroom? Remember that?
When you were with the CCC up in the woods, remember what you did to that bear?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I promised the ranger I'd never tell that.
I think you're safe now.
You must have told somebody.
Oh, for crying out. You may get me in jail yet.
There's still time.
Well, I'm a guy who always has to go, so that's all right, I'll tell it. We were on what you call a sub camp. There's about 13 of us. And the cook had a tent of his own, but that's where he kept all the food, and that's where he slept too. And so he began telling us, the ones in charge anyhow, that there's a bear trying to get in this tent with me. So he also told the monkey guy, what we call a monkey driver, the dynamite man, up on the trail. And so he brought back a couple of sticks of dynamite about 6 inches long, and they brought enough wire. They rigged it up up across a little creek there, and then up behind this big rock. And the reason to bring it down, but there's a big tree, a great big one, and they had dug a hole there to put the garbage in, and that's where the bear was coming. And he straddled that hole there, and well, anyhow, what's called a dynamite monkey, he set it up, put the dynamite about where he wanted it, and run the line up behind this big rock, and we'd all get behind the big rock. And when that big old bear gets strangled and get his head down in the hole, he let loose. And that bear went about 6, 8 feet. And when he came down spraddle-legged, you know, and he didn't die right there, but I'm pretty sure he did. Must have, but he was spraddle-legged, not across there, but I suppose that's what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Anybody here from PETA?
And the two foremen were Park Service foremen. And he got us guys all together and made us swear by crossing our heart we'd never tell anybody. Now I've told the whole world.
Two stories, Grandpa, that I've heard you tell several times that I just thought were the grossest and funniest stories that you ever told. One was about the hamburger. The big lady had the bet people came for miles, and she had a secret. And finally, she said, you asked her, somebody asked her what her secret was, and I guess she's like, big lady, and sweaty, and worked hard, and she goes, I don't know, I just take the hamburger, and I just... But I have to know, was that true?
I know what.
And then the other story was a guy on a train, and a younger guy was watching him, or a young man was watching him, and it was really hot on the train, and the guy kept drinking out of the jug, and the guy that didn't have the jug was getting upset, like, man, it's so hot on this train, why doesn't he share what he has to drink? Do you remember that? I think I'm getting it mixed up, but then finally, the guy finally says it to the guy, I'm sitting here, I'm all dried out, I'm thirsty, and you've had that jug this whole time. And the guy looks at his jug, he looks at the guy, and he goes, well, I've been spitting in it because I got the consumption, but if you want to drink, go right ahead. Do you remember that? Was that true? One more thing. The other thing I was thinking about when our kids were little, we called him Grandpa Lee, but they couldn't say Grandpa Lee, so they called him Papa Lee. So it was Papa Lee, and then it became Papa Lee. And to our kids, you've been Papa Lee, and I can still hear the little kids going, Papa Lee, Papa Lee! And I just remember all the drives down to see you guys, especially on the Thanksgivings, and how we would say a prayer, and every Thanksgiving when you would say the prayer, you would cry. And I'll never forget that.
I would cry.
You were baptized.
Well, your voice would get really loud for a minute, or just high and squeaky. But that's a memory, because you would be thanking the Lord for all the blessings in your life, and you'd be naming everybody in your family, and I just want you to know that when I think of you, that's what I think of. I love you.
That says it all. Lee has loved us, and we love him. We will remember Lee and this celebration for a very, very long time. But wait, there's more. 100 years deserves more than one celebration. On December 11th, 2014, Lee's 100th birthday, a smaller but no less joyous celebration lunch was held. It was time for more socializing, more singing, and more cake.
Tell us about that sometime. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Oh my.
Wonderful. Yay, thank you.
Wow.
And that's all for you, Lee.
Wow.
And that's all for you.
Can I leave right now and take this up and look in the refrigerator?
Okay. You gotta finish it before you leave. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's your birthday, you can do whatever you want to.
Lee, happy birthday. Let's all sing with him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. One of my best friends. Thank you very much.
How do you get all those things to stick on the side like that?
Now the parties are over, but the love continues.